Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with 5 cool tech gifts that won't break the bank. Now to start with, we have the latest and cutting-edge mobile VR technology, Google Daydream. So this really is an evolution of what you would find with Google Cardboard, and one of the main reasons that makes this different So we have the controller, which is one of the big differences between this and Cardboard, but we'll get to that in a second. You know, I've got to say this actually looks pretty nice. So it's all this sort of soft touch fabric material. One of the things with VR headsets is that they can get kind of uncomfortable after a while. They can get hot and sweaty, and especially if it's heavy, it's gonna really kind of weigh on you, but this actually is pretty nice. So one of the downsides to using Daydream is that it is not as widely compatible as Cardboard, which works on pretty much everything. So with Daydream, you need to use a few specific phones, and the main ones that are out right now are the Pixel phones. It's the future, guys. It's definitely the future. Oh, right. So I can actually aim with the controller. That's cool. All right, so now I'm in Google Photos. This is a panorama I took in San Diego, and you know what? That actually looks pretty cool. Whoa.
Hey, what is up, guys? I'm KBHD here.
All right.
To the Studio Tour 2016.
Yo, this is pretty good. 360 video is cool, but when you have to take that and kind of stretch it all the way around you, it becomes very difficult to actually be able to get something that's a high enough resolution. I mean, you're talking about something like probably 8K, if not 12K, to really get the full resolution all around you. Whereas something like this, I'm watching on what essentially looks like a giant big screen in front of me. Oh, that's cool. So I'm here on the page to download Need for Speed, and as I look around, I'm actually sitting in a garage. Something that's kind of cool is I can actually reach down in VR and pick up the Daydream controller. It's not perfectly one-to-one like Vive is, but that's actually really cool. I mean, once you're in the game, it looks nice, I guess. It's really hard for me to take a racing game seriously without good controls, and this is kind of goofy. So one of the things with the Daydream controller, it doesn't feel like it's really that well suited for an experience like this. It works, and honestly it works better than it really should for a racing game, but I think this would be a lot better suited if I actually had a proper controller. I think Daydream might just be my favorite mobile VR setup. So for $80, assuming you have a Daydream compatible phone like a Pixel, this is a pretty cool gift to start out with. It's not as good as a full VR setup, but this is also a lot cheaper and a lot smaller. Next, we have the Kingston MobileLite Wireless Pro, and big shout out to Kingston for sponsoring this video. So this little guy actually does a lot. So for starters, you have 64 gigabytes of storage built in. So when you pair it via Wi-Fi to your phone, you can use it to dump all kinds of data, pictures, videos, all that kind of stuff. There's also an SD card reader as well as a full USB port. Now that port does double duty. First of all, you can plug something like a flash drive in to expand the capacity, or you can plug your phone in because this doubles as a backup battery. So to get this guy up and running, all you need to do is connect to the Wi-Fi network and then download the MobileLite app. Yeah, there we go, 58.2 gigabytes free. As one of my most treasured possessions in life, this photo of Ralphie has to be backed up in as many places as possible. And the first place is my MobileLite. You can also do full backups from your phone. So for example, I could dump my entire camera roll over here, contact, calendar, all that kind of stuff. While it's nice to have this stuff backed up on the cloud, you should always have multiple copies of anything that's really important. And something like this is easy enough to carry around with you everywhere. Now as far as gifts go, I honestly think this is probably one of the best things on the list. This is the Fujifilm Instax Mini 90. So what you're getting here is essentially a new age Polaroid. So it's a film camera that will immediately print your shots out. Yes! This looks so cool, man. I've gotta say, I really like the look of this thing. So Fuji does make a cheaper version of the Instax, but it looks a little more like a toy. It's all plastic, whereas this looks properly retro. Around back, you're not gonna find a lot. So you have a couple of buttons to change your mode, turn on and off things like the flash, and you also have an actual optical viewfinder. Even though this is a film camera, we do have a rechargeable battery, but once we get this in, we just need to load the film. I mean, we all have digital cameras. We're all used to be able to take a million pictures and pick the best one, but there's something special about you get one shot. If you waste it, that's gone. So I feel like it almost kind of forces you to be a better photographer. Even if you've never used a film camera before, this is super easy. So all you need to do is take this guy and line it up on the back of the camera. There we go. God, there's something so satisfying about a physical picture. Ooh, but that actually looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That looks like Ken right there. Does this actually work? I don't actually know if this trick works. I've always seen people do it. I don't believe it works. This is not the most practical camera in the world, but it is a lot of fun. Knowing that you have that pressure to make sure you get the shot right, and being able to actually get a physical version of that shot almost immediately, it's not some amazing new concept, but I've gotta say, this is way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Next, we have the Chromecast Ultra. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, or follow technology at all, you know that the Chromecast is kind of a big deal, and this is the latest version which supports not only 4K but also HDR. So this is not any kind of massive difference between previous Chromecasts. What you're getting here really is just a higher... At first glance, it's really difficult to tell the difference between the Ultra and the normal Chromecast. And in actual use, it's also going to be pretty difficult because it's basically the same thing. The main advantage here really is the idea of getting a fairly inexpensive 4K streaming box. Or well, puck, I guess is a better term. So once you have a Chromecast hooked up to your TV, it's a pretty seamless experience. So you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and once you do, you can pretty much stream from any device that is Chromecast compatible. And these days, there are a lot. So most apps have Chromecast support, so things like YouTube, things like Netflix, you can stream right to your TV. And honestly, I actually prefer Chromecast to most sort of smart TV interfaces. If you're still rocking a 1080p TV, the normal Chromecast is fine. However, if you plan on upgrading your video game for 2017, the Chromecast Ultra is worth a look. If you're looking for something a little bit more on the stocking stuffer side of things, then we have power tabs. So these are kind of interesting. They are one-time use mobile chargers for smartphones. So not only do you have one with a lightning cable, but you can also pick it up for micro USB, and at about $5 each, this can actually really come in handy. So I think for the most part, you're gonna find these things in like vending machines and that sort of stuff. But if you're in a pinch and you really need a quick charge, there's not a lot to this guy. Wow, that is actually... Now, a disposable battery might sound like a bad idea, but this is very basic. So it's got sort of a cardboard shell, and the lightning cable is very, very simple. However, considering that these are all recyclable, it does make sense. So to charge, we should just be able to plug it into the lightning port, and there we go, charging. So with about 1,000 milliamp hours, it might not give you a full charge. In fact, it definitely won't. But in a quick pinch, you need a little bit of extra juice. This could be a serious lifesaver. As always, all the links you guys need will be in the description of this video. And you should also go check out a video from my friends over at Kingston, where they check out some of the best photography tips. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.